Good morning, yogis. My name is Daniel. This is Daniel Lee Yoga, and thank you for joining me for practice today. Class will be a 60-minute Vinyasa focused flow with an all levels and twisting and balance theme. Twists are great for the low back and just extending and finding space through the spine. And balancing is always great just to equalize and bring our two sides into equilibrium. With it being all levels as well, I will provide modifications and different options along the way. That way, yogis of any experience level can find a path that works for them. As far as props today, if you have a block or two, you can keep them handy. Books or water bottles will work just fine as well for today. They're not super necessary, but if you do have them, just keep them nearby. If you have any other kind of straps or blankets or anything like that, you can always keep them nearby as they can make great adjustments and different options. Ellen, oh, thank you. Good morning, Ellen. Good to see you as well. Glad you're here for class. I think that's all I have today to announce. So have your props, keep them by your side, and let's begin on our backs. So beginning class on our backs, have your knees bent. Knees fall into touch in the center, and then heel toe your feet out to the width of the mat, just to your capacity. So knees in, feet out. Arms can either be down by your sides with the palms facing up, or one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. And here, let's find some steady and stillness, allowing us to transition into our practice onto our mat. You have the option to soften your gaze or close your eyes completely. Just allow yourselves to be heavy, solidifying yourself onto your mat in your space today. And now, by observing without any judgment, bring your focus to your breath. Noticing how this morning or this afternoon, whenever you're tuning into class, how does your normal breath rhythm feel here? Perhaps taking note of the length of the inhales, comparing to the length and the depth of your exhales. If you have one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart, noticing how your belly, chest, collarbones all rise and how they fall. With each inhale, sinking deeper into this posture of stillness. Let's take 2 to 3 more breaths on your own here. One more breath here. Okay, if your eyes were softened, gently blink your eyes open. Extend your arms out to a T, palms face up. Keep your knees touching, feet out to the width of the mat. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale, let's drop our knees off to the right, keeping our feet wide, and begin to add some movement. So when your inhale, come through center, knees touch. Exhale, let the knees drop off to the left side. So we inhale through center, bring the knees up, and exhale, release off to the right. So keep moving on your breath, nice, slow, and controlled. Maintaining the back of the head and the shoulders on the mat, arms out nice and wide. All ready to begin to twist our spine a little here, beginning to add some movement into the low back. Keep moving from side to side 2 more times each way. Slow, conscious movements here. All right, and then meet me back in the center. Have your knees and your feet back to hips width distance, and then draw your knees into your chest. Wrap your hands either around your shins or your thighs. Keep the back of the head and the shoulders on the mat, just a gentle squeeze here. And then rock from side to side. Gentle rock from side to side here. All right, meeting back in the center. Knees and feet to hips width distance, arms wrap around your shins or your thighs. Keep your right knee hugged into your chest. Extend and straighten that left leg straight out. Release that left heel to the mat. Keep drawing the right knee in, extend out through that left heel. Flexing both toes, drawing them back towards your face. Spinning this inner left thigh in and down. Option to hover that left heel an inch or two off the mat. Engaging the abdominal muscles here, so draw the navel in and down. Keep drawing that right knee in, extend out through that left heel. One more breath here. And we'll switch. Draw the left knee in, extend and straighten that right leg straight out. Release the right heel to the mat to start. Flex both toes, draw them back towards your face. Spin that inner right thigh in and down, keeping the right knee and toes facing up towards the sky. Option to hover that right heel off the mat, drawing the navel in and down. Keep drawing that left knee in as you extend out through the right heel for one more breath. And let's switch. Draw the right knee in, extend the left leg straight out. This time, option to release the left heel on the mat, hover, or if you want to bring the left bottom of the left foot straight up towards the sky, we'll add some movement. So on your inhale, and then exhale, release the left foot, hover that heel an inch or two. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. Just 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Keep flexing the feet. Exhale, lower. Once more. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. Switch, draw the left knee in, extend the right leg straight out. Again, same options, you can leave the heel on the mat, hover an inch or two off the mat, or if you're coming with me, inhale as you bring your right bottom of the right foot up towards the sky, keep the leg nice and long. And on your exhale, gently lower, hover an inch or two off the mat. 3 more times. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. Twice more. Inhale, lift, keep flexing the toes. Exhale, lower. Once more. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. Drawing both knees into your chest, gentle squeeze. Cross one ankle on top of the other. Hold on to the backs of your thighs. Tuck your chin into your chest, extend your legs, and then maybe roll up and down your spine a couple of times, using your momentum, keeping your chin slightly tucked. And after doing that a couple times, roll up into a nice, comfortable cross-legged seat. Ankles underneath the knees, arms down by the sides. Spine is nice and long. If you feel like you're already falling back, just place a block or roll up your mat to give yourself a little elevation. Moving towards the arms now. So let's inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands out and down to the sides. 3 more times. Inhale, arms up overhead. Nice long spine. Exhale, out and down. 2 more times. Inhale, overhead. Exhale out and down. Inhale, arms up. And exhale out and down. Adding a side lean. Inhale, both arms overhead. Drop the left arm down. Side lean to your left side. Keep the shoulders and the pelvis facing forward. Bicep next to ear. Right sit bone stays rooted. If you'd like, you can walk those left fingertips out. One more breath here. And then inhale, use your abdominals to lift yourself up, both arms up overhead. Exhale, release that right arm down this time. So inhale, left fingertips to the sky. Exhale, side bend, right side this time. Same options as before, just keep that left sit bone rooted. If you'd like, you can start to walk these right fingertips out. Keep both sides lengthening equally here. Bicep next to the ear. Shoulders and pelvis facing forward for one more breath. Inhale, lift yourself back up through center. And exhale, hands down through center and down to your sides. Switch the crossing of your legs so you have the opposite shin in front. Ankles back underneath the knees, arms down by the sides. Adding a twist. So inhale, bring both arms up overhead. Exhale, twist to your right. We'll hold here. So as you twist to your right, right arm comes behind, left arm to that left knee. Now twisting from the navel up. So lifting, creating length. Maybe you draw the right shoulder back. Maybe you turn your neck to look over the right shoulder. Just remember to initiate the twist from the kind of low abdominal right through center, coming up through the chest, through the collarbones, with the neck being the last thing to turn. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale, release back to center. Bring both arms up overhead. And exhale, twist to your left this time, releasing both arms to the left side, left fingertips behind, right palm to the outside of that left knee. So again, twist and revolve from the ground up. So coming through the center of that abdominals, through the chest, through the collarbones, and maybe turning the neck to look over that left shoulder. 2 slow, deep breaths here. One more breath. And exhale, gently release back through center. Bring both arms up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. Moving in through tabletop, coming forward, rolling over your knees, or sending your legs off to the side. Whatever works for you will all meet in tabletop. Wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Fingers nice and spread, with the hips, knees, and tops of the feet all in one line. Firm those outer upper arms in so the elbow creases start to face forward. Pressing down through the base of each finger and each palm, drawing the navel in and up to create a nice long spine. Tailbone draws down, crown of the head draws forward. Chin slightly tucked, take a nice deep inhale. And exhale. Moving right into our cow-cat. So on your inhale, drop the navel, heart forward, lift and look up. Exhale, round the back, shoulders separate, head hangs heavy. Cat pose. Keep moving on your breath. So inhaling through your cow. Exhale through your cat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Shoulders separate. 2 more times on your breath. So inhale, drop the navel, heart forward, chest opens. Exhale, rounding the back, shoulders separate, head hangs heavy. One more time, each way. Once you finish with your last cat pose, meet me back in tabletop. A little bit of wrist work here. So we're starting in our neutral position here with our fingers facing forward, elbow creases facing forward. So start with the right arm lifted up, turn it around 180 degrees so the fingertips face back towards your knees, and then do that with the left arm. So fingers back, wrist forward. And then we'll come back to where we started. So right arm turns back to normal, left arm back. So keep moving. Starting with the right, then the left, right again, back to normal. So keep moving back and forth. And the next time both fingertips are facing towards your knees, pause here for a moment. Try to keep the entire palm on the mat, and then move your shoulders around in circles. Move your shoulders, move your hips. Try to maintain the entire palm on the mat as you gently roll into your circles. And then slow it down, move in the opposite direction. Nice wrist and forearm stretch here. And then slow it down. Revolve your hands back to normal position. Tops of the feet to the mat. Send your hips back towards your heels, Virasana pose. So with your chest up, hips on your heels, knees bent, tops of the feet to the mat. If this is too uncomfortable, you can place blocks in between your feet or a blanket. Or if neither of those options work for you, just come into a cross-legged seat. A little more wrist work. So let's bring the backs of the hands to touch and roll your hands out and through. Nice and slow, trying to maintain the backs of the wrist touching the entire time. And also avoiding hitting yourself in the chin or the face as you come through. Okay, slow it down, move in the opposite direction. All right, nice and slow. Let's come back through tabletop. Wrists underneath the shoulders, fingers nice and spread. Elbow creases face forward by firming the outer upper arms in. Let's extend and straighten that right leg straight back, curl the right toes under. Opposite arm, left fingertips come forward, fingertips to the mat. Draw the navel in and up. Keep the fingertips and the toes on the mat, so press the right heel back. Extend those left fingertips forward, but keep them on the mat. Notice if your shoulders or your hips are revolving, we still want them to be equidistant both sides from the mat. One more breath here. Switch to the opposite side. So release back through tabletop, extend the left leg straight back, curl the left toes under, and then opposite arm, right fingertips forward. So the palm faces in, thumb up, finger, pinky down. With the left toes curled under, press back to the left heel. And again, notice if one shoulder dropped or the other. Same with your hips. Keep drawing the navel in and up for one more breath. Then release back through tabletop, switching to the other side. So as you extend the right leg back, left arm forward, this time you have the option to hover, raising the right leg up to hip height, left arm up to shoulder height. Palm faces in, pinky down, thumb up. Keep drawing those right toes in, flexing them, spinning the inner right thigh in and up towards the sky. That keeps the knee and the toes facing down for one more breath. And gently release back through tabletop. Opposite side. So curl the left toes under, extend the right arm forward. Option to stay here or lift the left leg up to hip height. Again, notice how your hips move. Right arm up to shoulder height. Same thing. We want the shoulder and the hips to be equidistant from the mat. So just notice what may have moved here. Keep flexing those left toes, spinning the inner left thigh in and up towards the sky. Palm faces in, bicep next to ear for one more breath. And gently release back through tabletop. Tops of the feet to the mat, send the hips back to the heels. Forehead releases down to the mat, child's pose. Extending the arms forward, palms facing down. Forehead rests on the mat or maybe on a block. You can always lift your hips up off the mat, placing a blanket in between your hips and your heels if you'd like. Just take 3 to 4 deep breaths here in your child's pose. Knowing that child's pose is always an option to regroup or reground yourself. So keep this in mind as we move through practice. You can always come back here. If you're one that likes to set an intention in your practice, now's a great time to just dive into what brought you to the mat today. One more breath here. All right, gently start to lift your forehead up, walk your hands back, lifting up and through tabletop. Extend the right leg back, extend the left leg back into plank pose, and then lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. First down dog of the day, so let's take our dog for a walk. You can lift one heel, lift the other. Perhaps you lift one leg and lift the other. Maybe open up the hip. Maybe keep it closed. Just Try and find some movement, tapping into what your body needs right now. You can always do this on your knees as well, extending the legs back, maybe opening out, maybe dropping a shoulder. Just find some movement here for 2 to 3 more breaths. One more breath here. Okay, let's all meet in down dog. Arms shoulder width distance, feet hips width distance, chest pressing back towards the thighs. Inhale as you gaze forward. Bend the knees. Exhale, walker step to the top of the mat. Stay low. Feet hips width distance, nice and parallel. Grab opposite elbows, ragdoll pose. Crown of the head draws down towards the mat. Chin slightly tucked. Knees can be as bent as you'd like. Maybe rest your chest on your thighs. Keep the feet nice and parallel, lifting the hips up towards the sky. Let the crown of the head draw down towards the floor. Option to stay here or gently rock from side to side. Then switch whichever forearm is on top, reclasp opposite elbows. Gentle sway or staying right in the center. 2 more breaths. Then let's all meet back in stillness in the center. Release the clasp of your elbows so your arms hang down. We'll come up to standing but nice and slow. So press down through all 4 corners of your feet. Spin the inner thighs in and back and start to roll up your spine, stacking one vertebrae at a time. Nice, slow, and controlled movement here. Taking your time with the chin, the last thing to arrive. And once you've come up to standing, let's inhale, bring those arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. One more time. Inhale, arms out and up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. Let's add a little more movement. So inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Twisting to your right on your exhale. Opening the arms out wide to a T, palms face away. Inhale, come back through center. And exhale, twist to your left this time. Remember, palms face away, arms out to a T, shoulder height. Inhale back through center. Let's do one more each way. Exhale, twist to your right. Inhale back through center. And exhale, twist to your left. Inhale back through center. Exhale as you release the hands down through center. We'll add a standing side lean. Let's bring our big toes to touch, heels slightly separated. Now arms down to the side, palms face forward. Drawing the frontal hip points up, drawing the tailbone down, softening the shoulders away from the ears. Arms down to the side with the palms facing forward to allow that little bit of external rotation in the shoulder. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. Really press down through your feet, and on your inhale, bring the arms out and up overhead. Keep the right arm up, release the left fingertips down to the left side of that leg. Inhale, send the right fingertips to the sky. Exhale, side bend left side. Left fingertips walk down this left leg. Keep the right bicep next to the right ear. Side bend, so we're not twisting here, keeping the shoulders and the pelvis facing forward. Create length here on both sides of the body, so avoid crunching into those left side ribs. See if you can send your breath there. One more breath, just to your capacity. And use your abdominal muscles to inhale as you lift yourself back up, both arms overhead. Exhale, release the right fingertips down, prepping to the other side. So inhale, send the left fingertips to the sky, keep that length. And exhale, side bend to the right side this time. Walking those right fingertips down, keep that left bicep next to the ear. Move the torso all as one piece. Again, sending your breath in between each rib, especially on that right side body. Keeping the pelvis and the shoulders facing forward for one more breath. Now inhale, use your abdominals to lift both arms out and up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale. All right, make sure you're at the top of the mat. Separate your feet to hips width distance, feet nice and parallel. Arms down to the side. We're getting nice and warmed up here. Let's continue that. So press down through your feet. Inhale, bring both arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Bring your hands to the shins, nice long spine. And exhale, release, forward fold. Back up to standing. Press down through your feet. Inhale, arms out and up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center and to the sides. One more time. Inhale, arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Knees can have a slight bend. And then on your inhale, place your hands to the tops of your shins, torso parallel to the mat, chin slightly tucked. And exhale, release into your forward fold. Back up to standing, press down through your feet. Inhale, arms out and up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. Let's add on. So inhale, bring the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, nice long spine. And exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms, keep your left foot forward, step your right leg back. Drop your right knee down, right wrist underneath right shoulder, left arm out to the side. Take an inhale to prepare. And exhale, twist, bring those left fingertips to the sky. Rotate the left palm forward. Easy twist here. So keep that right knee down. Keep that left thigh drawing in. Really open and broaden through the collarbones for one more breath here. Then exhale, gently release that left arm down. Curl the right toes under. Step the right foot up to meet the left foot. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Press down through your feet. Inhale, raise the arms out and up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center and to the sides. Other side. So inhale, bring the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms, right foot forward, left foot steps back. Gently drop your left knee down to the mat. Left toes can stay curled or uncurled. Left palm underneath your left shoulder, right arm out to the side, palm faces down. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, twist and revolve, right fingertips to the sky. Remember, even the twist here, initiating it from the center of your abdominal, up through your chest, collarbone, shoulders, neck being the last thing to rotate here. Let's see if you can revolve the right palm to face forward to open up that shoulder. Maybe the gaze comes to look up at those right fingertips for one more breath. And exhale, gently release. Curl the left toes under. Lift the left knee up. Step the left foot to meet the right. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Press down through your feet. Inhale, back up to standing. Arms out and up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. Let's add on. Inhale, bring the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, nice long spine. And exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms, right foot steps back again. Keep the right foot up this time, and we'll add our twist. So right palm underneath the right shoulder, left arm out to the side. Inhale to prepare. And exhale, left fingertips to the sky. Holding just for a breath here, rotating the palm forward. And then exhale, we'll gently release that left arm down. Stay in your low lunge. We'll drop the right heel down, setting up for warrior two. So left toes face forward, right toes face the long edge side of your mat. Left palm to the inside edge, right arm up to the sky. Press down through your feet. Inhale, lift up into your warrior two. Adding some movement. So inhale, straighten the front leg, bring both arms overhead. Exhale, rebend, warrior two. Three more times. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. One more movement here. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Settle in for a moment here in our warrior two. So make sure the left toes face forward, right toes face the long edge side. Heel to arch alignment or slightly wider. Shoulder squared to the long edge side of your mat. Palms face down, and then turn your neck to look over those left fingertips. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale. Revolving our warrior, drop the right arm down, left arm up to the sky. Side bend over your right leg, but keep that left knee bent. It always wants to straighten. On your exhale, lift up through warrior two. Spiral both arms forward and down to either side of that left foot. Come up on that back right heel. Now we'll send the left foot to meet the right foot. Hold your plank pose for a couple breaths here. We'll move through our vinyasa. In your plank pose, you can have your knees down or up. Either way, shoulders over wrists, firming those outer upper arms in. Now let's have everyone drop down to your knees. Shift forward, bend the elbows back, lower all the way to the mat, all in one piece. Bring the tops of the feet down, press your hips down. Inhale, lift up into your back bend. Keep your low rib tips down, lift your head up, chest up. Elbows draw in, heart draws forward. Release the crown of your head or your nose to the mat. Curl the toes under. Keep your knees down, pressed up through knees down plank pose. Lift the hips up and back through downward facing dog. Holding in your down dog for 3 breaths. Keep pressing your chest back toward your thighs. With the feet hips width distance, spinning the inner thighs in and up towards the sky. Lifting the hips up. Hold for 1 more breath. All right, inhale as we gaze forward. Bend the knees, exhale, walk or step to the top of the mat. Feet hips width distance, inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold, press down through your feet. Inhale, back up to standing, arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. Other side, inhale, raise the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, nice long spine. And exhale, forward fold. Keep the right foot forward, left foot steps back. Left palm underneath that left shoulder. Remember, we're keeping the left knee up this time. Right arm out to the side. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, add your twist. Again, just for a breath, rotating the palm forward, firming both sides in towards the midline. And on your exhale, release that right arm down, setting up for a warrior 2. So drop the right heel down. Right toes face forward, left toes face the long edge side. Right arm to the inside, left arm up to the sky. Press down through your feet and inhale, lift up into your warrior 2. Settle in for a breath and let's add our movement. So on your inhale, straighten the front leg, bring both arms overhead. Exhale, rebend, warrior 2. 3 more times. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Twice more. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, bend. Settle here into your warrior 2. You can make sure the right toes face forward, left toes face the long edge side. Heel to arch alignment or slightly wider. Really firm this right hip in and under, right knee draws towards the pinky side edge. With the shoulder squared to the long edge side of your mat, palms face down. Soften those shoulders away from the ears. Turning the neck to look over those right fingertips for 1 more breath. All right, reverse our warrior. Drop the left arm down, right arm up to the sky, right palm faces back, side bend over the left leg. Keep that front right knee bent. Now lifting back up through warrior 2, spiral both arms forward and down to either side of that right foot. Come up on that back left heel, send the right foot to meet the left foot. Stay in your plank pose for 3 breaths again. Shoulders over wrist, fingers nice and spread. You can always drop down to your knees. In a moment, we'll move through our vinyasa again. So let's everyone drop down to your knees. Shift forward, bend the elbows back, lower all the way to the mat. Tops of the feet down, hips down. Inhale, lift up into your back bend. Heart draws forward. Maybe you straighten your arms into full cobra. Firming the outer upper arms in, ankles draw in. Exhale, gently release. Keep the knees down, curl the toes under. Press yourself up through knees down plank pose. Lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Stay in your down dog for 3 breaths here. Knowing that you always have the option to skip that vinyasa, you can come right to down dog. You can skip it, come into child's pose, or you can rest in tabletop as well. If you prefer any other variation of your vinyasa, feel free to take that. Otherwise, we'll be advancing as we move through class today. All right, let's inhale as we gaze forward. Bend the knees. Exhale, walk or step to the top of the mat. Feet hips width distance. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, forward fold. Press down through your feet. Inhale, raise the arms out and up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale. 1 more inhale. And exhale. Well done. All right, so setting up for a squat here. Now we'll separate your feet out a little bit wider than hips width distance. Heels slightly in, toes turn out. Now have your blocks ready in case you need them for a seat. You can place them a little bit behind your ankles. Inhale, bring the arms out and up overhead. And exhale, hands down through your center of your chest. Stay here. So take a nice deep inhale to prepare. And exhale, bend your knees, send your hips down just to your capacity. Try to maintain your entire feet on the mat. So if you need to lower and bring your heels up, try and stay a little bit higher up. You can always lower down, maybe sit on your block if it's there for you. Or if you don't need your block, you can sit down a little bit lower. Either way, try to have your thumb stay at your sternum. And if you're low enough to have your elbows to the insides of your knees, you can gently press your knees in as your elbows draw your knees away from your body. Just staying here for 2 to 3 breaths. Again, just in your capacity. Maybe you're a little bit up higher. Holding for one more breath here. And then wherever you are, straighten your legs, lift back up. Bring the arms out and up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. Feet back to hips width distance, nice and parallel. Inhale, bring the arms out and up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. Well done. All right, coming back to the top of your mat if you're not there already. Feet hips width distance, arms down to the side. Setting up for chair pose. So knees bend, hips back, arms come forward. So make sure your ankles, knees, and hips are all in one line. With your arms extended forward, biceps next to the ears. And note we still want a nice long spine here. So keep drawing the tailbone down, lifting those frontal hip points up. So avoid arching or rounding the spine here. Keep it nice and long. Chin slightly tucked. Now bring your hands to the center of your chest. We're adding a twist here. Take a nice deep inhale to prepare. Exhale, twist to your right, stay up. So keep the shoulders up. And then extend the arms out wide to a T shape, palms face away from your body. Keep drawing that left hip back, right hip forward. Maybe you turn the neck to look over those right fingertips. Holding here for one more breath. Stay in your chair pose and come back through center, both hands to the center of your chest. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, twist to the left this time. Again, twisting just from the navel up and extend the arms out to a T shape, palms face away from your body. Keep drawing the right hip back, left hip forward. So we still want the hips to square forward, but we're obviously turning the shoulders now. Maybe you turn the neck to look over those left fingertips for one more breath. And then exhale, come back through center, release into a forward fold. Stay here for 2 to 3 breaths in your forward fold. Keep letting the crown of your head draw down, softening the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe you start to straighten your legs a little more, hips lift up towards the sky. Staying here for one more breath. All right, let's inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms. Step both feet back into your downward facing dog. So lift the hips up and back. Down dog here for 2 breaths. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. Now beginning with the left side, we'll lift the left leg up and back to hip height, 3-legged dog. Keep flexing those left toes. Now adding some movement here. So inhale as you gaze forward. Bend the left knee into your chest. Shift forward, shoulders over the wrists. We'll press it back to 3-legged dog and repeat that 3 times, extending the leg. So inhale, knee into chest. Shift forward, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, extend and press that left leg back. 2 more times. So inhale forward, knee into chest. Exhale back. Inhale forward. And exhale back. Now one more time, inhale forward. This time step the left foot up to the top of the mat. Stay in your low lunge. Make sure both toes face forward. And the left foot's on the left side of the mat, right foot is on the right side of the mat. That'll help with our balance here. Really press down through your feet, and on your inhale, lift your chest up, torso up, arms up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center and down to your hips. So hands at your hips. Draw that left hip back, right hip forward. Add some movement here. So inhale, straighten the front leg. Press down through that left big toe. And exhale, rebend that front leg, low lunge. So inhale, straighten, both legs straighten here. And exhale, bend just that front leg. 2 more times. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, lower. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, lower. Now lowering into your low lunge. Let's inhale, bring the arms out and up back overhead. Exhale, hands down through center. Adding a twist here, so take a nice deep inhale to prepare. Exhale, twist to your left. So again, just moving from the navel up. Keep drawing that left hip back, right hip forward. And then open out the arms. Just like when we were in our chair pose, this time we're in our high lunge. So palms extend away from your body. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale, lift back up through center, turn back to center, arms up overhead. And then spiral both arms forward and down to either side of that left foot. Send the left foot to meet the right foot into your plank pose. Vinyasa through, knees down as you shift forward. Bend the elbows lower all the way to the mat. Bring the tops of the feet down, press the feet down, hips down, lift up into your back bend. Baby cobra or maybe full cobra again with your arms straightened. Either way, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, gently release, curl the toes under, lift all the way up into down dog, or come through knees down plank pose first if you need to. Stay here for 3 breaths in your down dog. Remember, you can always skip that vinyasa, come right into down dog, or take a break in child's pose or tabletop. One more breath here before we move to the other side. All right, let's lift that right leg up and back to hip height. Now here's our fun movement. So on your inhale, draw the right knee into your chest, shift forward, shoulders over wrists. And exhale, press back, 3-legged dog. Really press that right heel back. Inhale, shift forward, shoulders over wrists. And exhale, press back. 2 more times. Inhale, shifting forward, knee into chest. And exhale, press back. Inhale, shift forward. And exhale, press back. This time, inhale as we shift forward. This time, we'll step the right foot up to the top of the mat. It might take a couple steps, that's fine. Just make sure uh, both toes face forward with the right foot on the right side, left foot on the left side of the mat. Pressing down through your feet. And on your inhale, lift up into your high lunge. So back leg is bent, back leg is straight, front knee is bent. Exhale, hands down through center and down to your sides. Keep drawing the right hip back, left hip forward. Keep that front knee bent. Now let's add some movement. So on your inhale, straighten the front leg. And exhale, rebend. 3 more times. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Keep moving. Keep drawing the tailbone down, lifting those frontal hip points up. One more movement here. Inhale as you straighten. And exhale as you rebend. Settle into your low lunge here. Now on your inhale, your high lunge, inhale, bring the arms out and up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center. Before we move, keep drawing the right hip back, left hip forward. Remember, we're adding our twist to the right side. So take a nice deep inhale to prepare. Keep your chest up and exhale as you twist to your right, open your arms out to a T shape. So remember, palms face away with the thumbs up and the pinkies down. Twisting from the navel up, through the chest, through the collarbone, shoulders open, and then turn your neck to maybe look over those right fingertips. Really find your balance here. Keep a nice long spine. And one more breath. So take a nice deep inhale. And exhale, turn back through center. Bring both arms up overhead. And exhale, spiral both arms to the ground to either side of that right foot. Step the right foot to meet the left foot. Vinyasa through. Knees down or up as you shift forward. Bend the elbows lower all the way to the mat. Tops of the feet down, hips down. Inhale, lift up into your back bend. Baby cobra with your elbows bent and your low rib tips on the mat. Or full cobra with your arms straightened, knees still stay down. Exhale as you gently release. Curl the toes under and find your way all the way into downward facing dog. Stay in your down dog for just 2 breaths here. Keep pressing your chest back toward your thighs. Crown of the head draws down. And from here, let's inhale as we gaze forward. Bend the knees. Exhale, walk or step to the top of the mat. Feet hips width distance. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, forward fold. Press down through your feet. Inhale back to chair pose. So knees bend, hips back, arms forward. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale. All right. Setting up for our final sequence. If you have your block or prop, you should only need one here. So take this and place it up at the top of your mat, maybe right in the center to start on its highest height to start. All right, coming back to the top of your mat, feet hips width distance, arms down to the side, palms face forward. Keep drawing the tailbone down, frontal hip points lift up, shoulders soften away from the ears. Let's take 2 deep breaths here, and one nice deep inhale, and exhale. One more inhale, and exhale. All right, press down through your feet. Let's inhale, bring the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, nice long spine. And exhale, forward fold. Plant your palm, step your right foot back. And keep your right knee down. Right palm underneath the right shoulder. Let's extend the left arm out to the side. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale, left fingertips up to the sky just for a breath. Turn to rotate that left palm forward. And then exhale, spiral that left arm down. Press down through your feet and inhale, lift up into your high lunge. Both arms up overhead. And then exhale down through center and down to your hips. Keep drawing that left hip back, right hip forward. Now a moment we'll be bouncing on our left arm and we'll add our left leg and we'll add a twist. So let's inhale, bring the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hands down through center, setting up first through Virabhadrasana 3. So shift forward 45 degrees, take a nice deep inhale to prepare. And exhale, shift forward, lift up that back right leg. Now with that right leg lifted, take a nice deep inhale. And now exhale, you'll release your left arm down to the block or to the mat, and then right arm opens out to the side. So we're adding a twist. I'm sorry, we'll switch that up. So we're actually releasing the right arm down, left arm up to the sky. So from your Vira 3, release your right arm to your block or to your prop, and then lift your left arm up to the sky. So we're adding a twist in this balancing pose. This is where it really helps to make contact with the block or with the mat. That back leg stays flexed, so the toes draw down, so the knees and the toes still face down towards the ground. Really open up through the chest. We've been doing this all class, so we're really revolving and twisting here from the navel up through the shoulders, and then maybe you turn your neck to look up at those left fingertips. Holding for one more breath. Now exhale, gently release both arms down back into your warrior 3. Release the right leg back, bending the front left knee. Both palms come to either side of that left foot. And then step the left foot to meet the right foot. Vinyasa through if you'd like. Knees down or up as you shift forward. Bend the elbows so we're all the way or halfway down. Tops of the feet to the mat. Inhale, lift up into your back bend. Maybe lift into upward facing dog with the knees off the mat. Curling the toes under, lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Stay for 2 to 3 breaths here before we move to the other side. Make sure your block is still up at the top of the mat ready for you. All right, downward facing dog. Let's lift that right leg up and back to hip height. Bend the right knee into your chest. Step the right foot forward into your low lunge. Adding a twist, so left arm underneath that left shoulder, right arm out to the side. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, right fingertips to the sky. Maybe you rotate the right palm forward just for a breath here. And exhale, gently release. Press down through your feet, and on your inhale, lift up into your high lunge. Again, make sure both toes face forward, arms overhead, and exhale, hands down through center and down to your hips. Draw that right hip back, left hip forward. So in a moment, we'll transition through a warrior 3, and then we'll twist to the right side. Take a nice deep inhale, and exhale. All right, let's inhale, lift the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hands down through center. Now shift forward 45 degrees. Take a nice deep inhale to prepare. And exhale, shift forward into your warrior three. You can start by dropping both arms to the ground just to prepare yourself. Lifting that left leg up and back, find your balance. And now place your left hand on your block or maybe on the ground or fingertips. Keep lifting that left leg up and back. And then raise the right arm up to the sky, adding your twist. So we're twisting and revolving over that right leg. Opening up the chest. Keep lifting that left leg up, lifting through that inside of that left thigh. Pressing down through all four corners of that standing right leg. Keep twisting again from the navel up. If you fall out, just come right back into the pose. Keeping the spine nice and long. Maybe you turn your neck to look up at those right fingertips. Holding for 2 more breaths wherever you are. 1 more breath here. And then gently release that right arm down. Both arms into warrior three. Bend the front knee, release the left foot down. Both hands to either side of that right foot. Step the right foot to meet the left foot. Last vinyasa or skip it. Knees down or up as you shift forward. Bend the elbows lower all the way or halfway down. Tops of the feet down. Inhale, lift up into your back bend. Exhale, curl the toes under. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. From your down dog, let's shift forward, lower our knees to the mat. Tops of the feet to the mat, send our hips back to our heels. Child's pose. Forehead rests on the mat or on a block. Arms can stay extended out nice and long, or if you'd like, bring the wrists next to the ankles with the palms facing up. Just allowing the shoulders to protract and open here. Just stay here for 3 to 4 breaths. Knowing that that peak pose that we took today is a very challenging pose involving balancing, twisting. There is a lot going on there, so it can be a fun pose to practice. And just see how you feel and see how you progress as you take your time to find the stillness in that posture. All right, one more breath in your child's pose. All right, everyone extend your arms out nice and long in front of you. Walking your hands back as you lift your head up, chest up. Send your legs off to the side. Come into a seat with your legs extended out in front of you. All right, with your legs out in front of you, knees slightly bent. Feet are flexed so they draw back toward your face. If you have a strap, this is where a strap can come in handy. We'll add a forward fold in a moment, and you can place your strap underneath your feet. So, knowing here, before we even add our forward fold, if you feel like you're falling back, again, place a little elevation under your sit bones to allow your spine to stay nice and long. Option 1 is to stay right here, nice and stable, or we'll add a forward fold. So if you're coming with me, inhale, bring the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, keep the knees bent, keep the spine nice and long and forward fold. Send your heart toward your toes. Release your arms to either side of your legs. If you have your strap, you can use that as a gentle external lever to draw your chest a little closer to your toes. Now your knees can stay bent if you'd like, or you can start to straighten your legs by walking your sit bones back or walking your heels forward. Just keep your spine nice and long, so avoid over rounding. You may not come as close as you can to your shins, but it's better to keep your spine nice and long. Keeping the toes flex, knees draw back towards your hip sockets. Keep drawing the outsides, the pinky sides of your feet closer towards your chest. Staying here for 2 more deep breaths. All right, let's gently start to walk our hands back, lifting our chest up. Place your hands next to your hips, bend your knees, and send your hips up a little closer to your heels. Bring the bottoms of your feet to the mat, hold on to your shins or your thighs, and gently roll down onto your spine. So coming onto your back, keep your knees and your feet hips width distance, and then walk your heels so they're underneath your knees. Setting up for 2 bridge poses, starting with your arms down by your side, palms face down. Press your feet into the mat, take a nice deep inhale, and exhale, lift your hips up, pelvis up, chest up, bridge pose. Keep your arms down by your sides, pressing your forearms and your palms into the mat, lifting your hips up here. Now keep drawing the tailbone towards the backs of the knees and spin the inner thighs in and down to keep the knees directly over the ankles. Maybe lift up for one more breath, a little bit higher. And exhale, gently lower from the top of the spine, middle of the back, low back last to arrive. Let your knees fall into touch, separate your feet out to the width of the mat, and then gently let your knees rock from side to side. We'll set up in a moment for one more bridge pose if you'd like. We'll have the option to interlace the fingers underneath the back, just an option for you. And if you're done with bridge poses, you can always just place a block underneath your low back as we lift up for a more restorative version. All right, coming back through center, knees and the hips back to hips width distance. Ankles underneath the knees, arms down by the sides. Press your arms into the mat, take a nice deep inhale. And exhale, lift your hips up, pelvis up, chest up, bridge pose. So options are you can stay here. Other option, you can place a block underneath your sacrum. Or if you want to add your arms, you rotate and revolve the triceps under, interlace the fingers, bring the wrist to touch, and then maybe with the arms straightened, you draw the pinkies a little bit closer to the mat. Either option you choose, keep drawing the tailbone towards the backs of the knees, and keep spinning those inner thighs in and down. Chin slightly tucked, gazes straight up towards the sky. Hold for one more breath wherever you are. And then gently release the clasp of your fingers, arms out to the side. Wherever you are, release your block maybe and gently lower from the top of the spine, middle of the back, below back, last to arrive. All right, knees into touch again, feet out to the width of the mat. This time extend your arms out to a T or a field goal post and gently let your knees rock from side to side again. All right, coming back through center, bring your knees and your feet to touch. Lift your knees so that they're above your hips, and then lift your shins so they're parallel to the mat, flexing your toes. So we're looking for a 90-degree angle here. Take a nice deep inhale to prepare. And exhale, gently and slowly lower your knees off to the right side. Try to keep your knees up at hip height as you gently lower, keeping your left shoulder rooted to the mat. If you need to, you can place a block underneath your knees. Just try to keep that left shoulder rooted. And if you'd like, you can gently turn your neck to look over those left fingertips. Palms stay up. Take 2 deep breaths here. All right, turning the neck to look back up towards center. Press the backs of your hands into the mat and inhale, lift your knees back up through center, knees over hips, shins parallel to the mat, feet are flexed. Keep your knees and your feet together. Take a nice deep inhale to prepare. Draw that navel down and exhale as you gently lower the knees off to the left side this time. So lower just to your capacity in the spinal twist. Maybe you place a block underneath the knees. But keep the right shoulder rooted, palms facing up. Option to turn your neck to look over those right fingertips to make this a full spinal twist. Find stillness here for 2 breaths. And then turning your neck to look back up through center. Press the back of the hands into the mat. Use your abdominal muscles to lift your knees back up through center. And then draw your knees into your chest, wrap your hands around your shins or your thighs, gentle squeeze, drawing the knees in. And now let's lift the back of the head and the shoulders off the mat. Come into an egg shape. Try and squeeze everything together. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And exhale, release and extend. Extend the legs long. Extend the arms long overhead. Point the toes away from the body. Extend the fingertips nice and long. Full body stretch, stretch, stretch. And exhale, release. Extend the arms down by the side. Keep the legs nice and long. Just let the knees and the feet fall out to the side. We'll settle into our final pose of practice here, Shavasana. You can stay here, or if you have any other variations of your Shavasana, perhaps blocks underneath the knees to have more of your spine on the mat. Maybe you bring the bottoms of your feet together, knees out to the side in your bound angle. Maybe you have your knees bent, bottoms of the feet onto the floor. Choose what option works for you. Just know this is a pose and a time to find steadiness and ease. Check in with your body, see if there are any last bits of tension, and you can ease by sending your breath into those areas. Always have the option to soften your gaze or close your eyes completely here. Settle in and find your stillness. Now let's begin to bring some awareness back into your body. If your knees are bent, let's re-extend your legs out nice and long. Start to rotate your wrists and your ankles. And switch directions in those rotations. Maybe wiggle the fingers and the toes a bit. And now come back to stillness for one last breath here on your back. Now slowly and gently bend your knees into your chest as you roll over to one side of your body. Stacking your knees, stack your hands. Stay for a breath here on your side. Now, keeping your eyes softened, use your top arm to press yourself up into a comfortable cross-legged seat to complete your practice today. In your comfortable seat, you can rest your palms on tops of your knees. Palms can face up, or bring your hands into the center of your chest. Let's all take a nice deep inhale in together. Through the mouth, exhale. Thank you for joining me for your practice today. The light and love in me acknowledges and honors the light and love in each one of you. Thank you. Peace. All right. Thank you all so much for joining me for practice, either on this Wednesday morning or if you may be watching recorded later. Really appreciate your presence. And Ellen, thank you very much for checking in. Always nice to see you and feel your presence in practice. If you ever have any questions, you can always leave them in the chat. Also, leave a comment on the video or in the video description are more ways to reach out to me with email and social media and stuff like that. For any of you that may be in the Las Terrenas area, this Sunday, June 20th, day before International Yoga Day, we're celebrating with a bunch of free classes from a lot of local teachers here in Las Terrenas in the Dominican Republic. So if you happen to be down here, check that out. I think I posted on Instagram and we'll probably post on Facebook this week as well. And you can also reach out to me if you want some more details on that. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. I'll be back next Wednesday morning, as always, for the next class. And again, reach out to me if you ever have any questions. Otherwise, enjoy yourself, enjoy the rest of your day and your week, and I will see you next time in practice. Thank you again so much. Again, my name is Daniel with Daniel Lee Yoga. Thank you and peace.